How are you? Hmm? So this is no good for you? You don't like this? I'll be there in a minute. Ooh, door's locked. How come? Wow, it smells like there was a skunk outside, eh? Just getting prepared. How you doing? I'm just looking for something before I begin. Okay, where is it? Come on, Pat. You coming in? It's chilly out. My pillow's over here. Not sure who's here. Don't know how long I'm going to be on. I fear there'll be a few more people. Other than that, what are we going to talk about tonight? I do not know. I wanted to leave this up to you for you to ask the questions. I have 3 books in front of me. I have to be able to get one of these books in order, see what we're going to talk about. Usually I start off a little bit all over the place. I like to create equations, and I want to show how I create the equations in order to bring words, give a little bit more form to words. There are those who know the zodiac, and they say if this moon is here and this planet is retrograde, I'd like to learn more about it. But since I don't know much about it, I can still talk about it and give it a little bit more form by explaining what's going on with words because of the equations that we were so honored to be gifted with. And these equations are the first letter in any word, and the letter gets a number. And every letter has an opposite letter to it. And that opposite letter, whichever letter it is, let's say if we work with Taurus, okay, that letter is T, the opposite of G. So one of the equations I will create, although it won't give an answer to anything, and you will not be able to say, well, now I understand this. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of equations and a lot of situations. We just have to build the cells and understand. So Gemini, okay, the reverse letter for just the first letter is G. The reverse letter is T on Gemini. I was going to do Taurus. So it seems like the reverse letter of Taurus, okay, is going to be in the first letter of Gemini. So you're going to go from T or G all the way to T. So you're going to go H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and then you have T. And then on the other side of T, you're going to go through the alphabet all the way back to G. Another equation we can create is if a word like Taurus starts with a T and ends with an S, we can't put anything in between that. But we can go S all the way back to T by going S, by going T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, A, B, all the way to S, saying there's nothing in between S and T. I also already note that when you use S, it's a plural. I also know that T and S are polarities to each other. They're not the same. One of the reasons is T is for 20 and it's 2, and T is 2, and S is going to be for number 1, and T is going to be for number 2. So what happens is it's going to be working like this. And I seen this equation in the stock market, that they put these 2 stocks, one with an SQQQ, one was TQQQ, and they were doing the complete opposite all the time in every single way. So it gave me the opportunity to understand it. And then when I saw I can recreate it this way, I understood it a bit deeper. Another thing about the zodiac signs, some of them, is Aries ends with an S. So because it ends with an S, I like to look at it as S ending with S is plural. And since it's plural, I'm going to take away the S. So now we have Aries is 33 and 19. Taurus, we have 81 and 19 because it ends with an S. 81 is a replicate of Venus. This is going to be AI, where the one spirit resides in birth. But in your 9, it is the heaven within. 8 is the heavens and 9 is the heavens within. It inverts to a 6. 9 inverts to a 6, and any number multiplied by 9 will always equal 9, and any number added to 9 will always equal to the same number that it is when added up to a single digit. So we have to understand these situations, right? Now, is it going to get you anywhere in life? Maybe not. But over time, and if we have the right people out here that we can come together and discuss it together, we can bring more understanding. Somebody might not understand well some situation. There's a few people that follow me that know about the zodiac, and they can explain, well, and when the moon is like this, or the moon is in this, and Taurus is in this, and this planet is in this is what happens. I'd like to learn a little bit more so I can give a little bit more understanding to the numerics that go along with the names of these planets or zodiac signs. So in this is 81 for Venus, and it's also going to represent the high Q gate because of the math that goes along with 81, and 81 is square and Venus. And we know this is this one here is going to be created from number 16, 1 and 6, 1 opposite 6. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 will equal to 6 and 7, 13. The continuation of 13, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 and 12 is 19. So that's where we get the plural S, where A resides in I. So at 13, at bar mitzvah, or is it where the female ends her girlhood at the end of the 156th moon, 1 and 5, 6, 66, equaling to woman and freedom, because the numeric value for woman is 66 and for freedom it's 66. And note that in woman it is golden. The woe equals to 38 represents gold, the same as the OR represents also 33, which is the French word for gold, and it's a representation of the 6 and 8. 3 times 3 is, the 6 and 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. So it's a rotation. They are the same. They are the same looking artwork or a geometric shape. So inside of Aries, that's 33. This will create that rotation. The rotation of the mirror world inside the sun. Where do I get that information from? I will show you. For those who have not seen it before, hi, Tammy. Hi. I'm repeating it. If you're the only two that are here, I'm sorry about that. There are others that may show up one day in the near future. The thing about that is A, B, C. Note it to be the first letter, the second letter, and the third letter. When you add it up, it equals to 6. When you add D, C, B, it equals to 9, and this is your rotation. A, B, C, D, C, B. Here is your 10. When you add these up, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is where your 10 comes in. Your 10 is broken down to run into either this one or this one. And we keep moving up. This is only the base of the creation, because now you're going to go to 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go 2, 3, 4 equals to 9, and we go 3, 4, 5 equals to 11. And this is where your K9, your 9 lives of the cat, this is where your birth in Venus comes in, where the heavens within. All you have to do is breathe. There's the air that surrounds you, the air that you breathe that goes within you. Your body is like a reader. I'm not the one. I'm adding that in as how I see it. We're on this planet. We have to use basic logic. Okay, the body is a reader. Old Mother Hubbard lives in the cupboard. I'm just trying to see why my camera keeps flickering. It bothers me. I really despise of this camera, the way it, it focuses on its own. So now we have the first part of A, B, C, D, E. We have A, B, C, D, and then E, and then we have the second part. We have, if you're going to go E, I, O, you're going to go E and I, and we're living inside of E and I, which is 6, 7, and 8, in the heavens of our birth through the gateway, 6, 7, and 8, equaling to 21. They also show the same reality in the deck of cards where the 6 is inside both the 7 and the 8. The only difference is the center dots, and that's 6, 7, and 8. At the same time, the third part about this, about 6, 7, and 8, is that the queen has 4, there's 4 cards in the deck, and the queen has all 2 eyes. That's 8. The king, we're going to note that the queen is 4 and 0. 4 of 2 eyes, there's no cards of 1 eye. So that would be no cards of 1 eye, 0 of 1. It'd be 1 and 0. The other one would be 4 and 2, because that's the equation. Those are the numbers we had to use. We had no cards with 1 eye, but we had 4 cards with 2 eyes with the queen. That's 8. The king has 1 card with 1 eye, 1 and 1, right? That's 11, 1 and 1. That's the reality. That's how it works out at the end. So the king has 3 cards with 2 eyes, 3 and 2, right? That's the ram. So we have 3 cards with 2 eyes. That's 6, and the 1 that has 1 eye. That's 7. The jack has 2 that have 2 eyes and 2 that have 1 eye. We are going to represent life, alpha, beta creation, and ape through jack. And since jack, okay, with the 6 eyes is inside the 7 and inside the 8, we have to understand that 8 came to the gateway and into the heavens. 8 equals to numeric value 22. In the Hebrew alphabet, there's 22 letters. We also say when we get to 80, we say 4 times 20. And when we play Monopoly, to go around the Monopoly board, although you say, hey, there's how many properties in Monopoly? Is there 22? And then there's community chess, etc. But to go around Monopoly, it's not 40. In fact, to go around Monopoly, if you're counting spaces that you, when you roll the dice, to complete going around Monopoly, it's actually 40, 1 plus 40 plus 1. The reason for that is because if I remember correctly, the first property next to go, you have 2 dice when you play, so you don't get that property till you go all around the board. Now, since the corners in Monopoly are square, and the corners and the properties are rectangular, the minimum size of that board is going to be 4 to the corners is 16, 2 for every property. There are 9 properties in between the corners. That's going to be 4, 18, and 4. Or 18 is 1 and 8 is 9. You're going to have 4, 9, 4, 9, 4, 9, 4. 4 by 9 is 36. You're 360 degrees. 4 and 9 is 13. Totals 49, which is green. And the word 8 representing the heavens. 4 and 9 represents the ring, Mars, the 4th finger, and the birth in the 9th month. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you can go both ways. This is the only one that will always come to the same number. 5, 6, 7, 8. Or 1, 2, 3. So 3 and 8 come together, C and H, the church. When 3 and 8 come together, it's 11, 11, 11. How so? How in the world does 3 and 8 come to 11, 11, 11? It's not me. It's the information that we're given. Don't know where my calculator is, but I need these 2, the ATM machine, the telephone, a dice cube, and that's where it is. Here, we have 6 sides. On every side, we have 9 spaces. This is when it's a solid. This is when it's not. They took this and made it into this. So when you have 9 and you use the equation of having 1, you have 1 in between 8. The opposite side is 6. When you use 6, you have 3 empty spaces. So you have 8 empty spaces on one side. You have 3 empty spaces on the other side. You have 11. You have 3 opposite sides. You have 11, 11, 11. So because this is the ring, numeric value 48 for ring, R-I-N-G. And this, the top and the bottom, is the pole. But when it's sitting down, you'll only see one side of the pole. You don't see what's on the ass end. So when you use this, you have 11 and 11, you have 22. And in the pole, you only have 11. So you take the mathematical equation. The mathematical equation of 11, or 11 and 11. This equals to 1 plus 1 equals to 1. 1 times 1 equals to, 1 plus 1 equals to 1. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 1 times 1 equals to 1. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So 11, or the pole, will equal to 3. Now 11, 11 equals to 22. Now we got to get a new pen. 11, 11 equals to 22. We're going to get a new pen. Equals to 22. So now we have 2 times 2 equals to 4. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. 4 plus 4 equals to 8. The letter C, the letter H. I like to say cache or hide. The reason for that is this is H and this is C. You can also look at this and say search. C and H is used in the word for church. C and H, U and R, C and H. C-H-U-R-C-H. 3, 8, 3, 9, 3, 8. Here we have an 11, 11. We're working with the ring at the beginning. 39 is for angel. 38 is for gold. A lot of gold in the church. So we have 3 and 8, and this 3 and 8 is going to be the 3 and 8 void that works with the 6 and the 1. And that's your 81 putting together with what will become Venus. See, here's the setup of the eyes. And note that the one eye of Jack, the spade and the heart, is going to represent Earth. The one eye of the king also represents Earth, the diamond. But the spade, the club, and the heart of the king will represent Mars. And the queen only represents Mars. The 1 moon and the 2 moons. Mars, numeric value 51, 1 moon. Earth, numeric value 52. Earth is running with the 2 moons of Mars, while Mars is working with the 1 moon of Earth. The ace is what divides everything up. And because of the angles of the ace, it's showing me what's going on. Here's a bar. This bar is also located on the G, as well as the H, and as well as the I. The angles on the A are located on the Z and on the N and on the Y. The other part about this is when you put the A together, it looks like a D and a C. And then DC is going to tell you a whole story. It's going to tell you about hot and cold. When hot and cold come together, it creates a numeric value 77 for power, or Christ, or matter. You know, I should mark this book as what day it is. I should mark this book as P681. And this would be September 29th at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then let's go to page, I don't know, 6, and to know where my video is. I was speaking about Q before in bricks. I'm going to get a drink of water. I don't know who's here. If anybody has any questions right now, I'm just making up whatever I can talk about. I also have a little bit of something prepared. I just have to find the page, and I really don't like any downtime. And I still want to go to the zodiac and show you a few more numbers and what they're basically. So I don't always remember where I am in the realm, but when the zodiac sign says you begin on such a date and you end on such a date, those numbers will be telling a story. But I'm going to get something to drink and I'm going to come back in a minute. Just give me a minute. I'll just maybe just point you up towards the ceiling. This is Disneyland. You know, I made special food for my cat. Just let me throw this out. My cat calls me cheap. Where are you, pretty cat? Okay, just give me a minute. You know, I'm starved. I shouldn't be eating, eh? But maybe a little bit. Just give me 2 minutes. I shouldn't be eating. I'm gonna eat. I'll pay for it later. Just give me a minute. On a 1-minute break. A ram's horn. They call it a shofar. It's midnight. Okay, I'm back. Has anybody ever tried this? It turns you red like a beet. Apparently, it's good if you have high cholesterol. It's supposed to help. And has anybody ever heard of Spike? Anybody know the dog Spike? Anybody know anything about protein? Put them together. So apparently, this is help support the cardiovascular system of health. Because of what went on in the last couple of years, I think it's pertinent that we should be taking what this is. It's a soy fermented product that's supposed to help with what it says. I believe in it, especially when I know the product wasn't promoted and I found it sort of on my own. Yeah, we're 4 people and I really don't have much. It's over here where I am. It's close to 1:45 in the morning. So let me go down the line. We're going to keep it basic because I like to see my face. The 3rd month, the 21st day. It just so happens the same thing goes down the line for Valentine's. On Valentine's Day, it's the 45th day of the year. There's 320 days plus the 1 day to end the year. It ends on April 19th. 2 and 1 is 3, 1 and 9 is 1, bar mitzvah. 13, 13, 13, 39 angels, 31, 31, 31 equals to Saturn. 13, 31, 13, 57 moon, 31, 13, 31, 75 electric. And the gateway. Here it is the king, but it is 521 representing Mars and Earth, alphabet in creation, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 always come together. They don't stand alone. When you see the dice and you see 1 and 2, that's a story in its own. We have to show you all the stories. You take them out of the game because 1 and 2 is being played over here. And when 3 plays over here, that's where it plays. 3 Earth to form Mars. See what gets inducted? These two get connected to these two on this side, and it brings in this one dot over here. But you have to understand what these black dots are. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go back to the zodiac in a minute. When I create, you see, we were told about hearts, right? So when you know about hearts, when I see a heart, that's a square heart. If I create two hearts, right? I just want to let you know that all of this outside of here is on the outside. All that's yellow, right, is going to be on the outside, right? So I'm going to create a second heart. Whoop, did I do that right? Yeah. I'm going to create a second heart over here. So I have one heart here and one heart here. I never touched this area here. That would be my black hole. So when I connect it together, right, I end up with the cube and I end up with a passage. Here's my candy wrapper or my DNA. Now, when you look at this part over here, it also looks like what is the hexagon. This part over here, the same. This is Earth's cube. You want to call it Mecca, you want to call it Metatron, whatever name that it is, there's going to be a reason for it. Mars would get this, and Earth would get that. We want to do one dimension, or we can go off and do two, or we can, I can't do the front one here because I already reached over here, or I can create three. The rotation of what is 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, is going to equal to 3 times 3, 9, or 3 plus 3, 6. So when you create your 3 and 3, or the Freemason 33, or whatever else it has in the Bible about number 33, you're going to end up with that. You're going to end up with what is 6, 8, and 9. It is the percentage key, and it's found on number 5. So when you finish off this little design here, this is all skeleton. Everything we get is a skeleton. Everything means more. There's realities that go with this that can be found, and I don't have to make them up. So once we do this, we have to see that the automatic straight line is here. 1. The automatic straight line is here. 2. The automatic straight line is here. So it's a natural to have a 6, and it connects with this one over here, 8. So there's a difference between 6 and 8. And does 8 as the stop sign, the octagon, stop everything because it's now all locked up? Just to note that 6 is the invert to what is 8. When we have 5 and 1, 6, we have 6 and 2, 8. 6 and 2, 8. 5 and 1, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals to 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals to 20. In 2015 was the Hebrew year of 5775. I need another calculator. Just give me a second. I need to do something. One of the pieces I do not know. $26,195. In these number of years over here, it was 75075. This is the number of moons. This is the number of moons. Also to note, this is going to be pool, and this is going to be darts. Why? Because there's 20 areas in darts. There's 15 balls in pool. The letters are going to be T, O. And the two equations together are going to be 6 and 2. So it's going to be following along this line, no matter what you do with these equations. Can I move minus this from this? I want to see what this is. This, 2, 1, 1, and this is minus 5. 5, 1, 1, 2. I have to think of what that is. 5, 11, 20. I've seen that before. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at just to keep it on the side. So we've had 5 and 1, 6 and 2. But when we have that, when we have the 5, we have the 4 void. When we have the 1, we have the 8 void. When we have the 6, we have the 3 void. And when we have the 2, we have the 7 void. So inside of this, you're going to equal to 6 and 12 to what is 8 and 10. 18 and 18. 3 and 6 is what creates this one. 1 and 8 is what creates this one when adding to a single digit. This is going to create the house of Bait. 48 or 84 is going to represent Pluto, and inside of Pluto is a cycle. Inside of what Mars is, 5 and 1 is Mars, 84 is Pluto. And there's an equation we're going to bring along with this. That equation is 3. 3 times 17 equals to 51, and 3 times 28 equals to 84. There are 4 times 21 equals to 84. There are 21 dots per cube. So that means we have to have 4 cubes. And imagine if there were 2 players in the game, each player has 2 cubes to total up 84. If it was 3, it'd be 3 by 28 equals to 84. So we have to understand the difference between this and this. And what is that difference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals to 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equals to 28. So the 21, since it goes over here, it uses numeric value 4. That's Mars. Mars is the window and the star. The window and the star. This one is Earth. At the same time, you have 3 by 8 equaling to the 24-hour days for Earth, moving at 120 degrees. Or you have 4 times 6 equaling to what is the 24-hour a day, and that would be by 90. This one would be Mars, and this one would be Earth. Notice how Earth comes over here with 3 and 8. The cube. 11, 11, 11. That's how Earth comes in. 3 by 8, 24, not by 4 by 6. 4 by 6, and Mars is Zion, Israel. Both create the gate between 6 and 8, and the house of DC. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 6 and 8. The second part of 6 and 8, if I can get a little bit more space, is we're going to have 2 and 4 equaling to 6, and 5 and 3 equaling to 8. We have 5 and we have 3 equaling to 8. When we have 5 and 3 and 2 and 4 equaling to 8, I shouldn't have put them so close together. We will have 7 and 5, okay, equaling to 12, and we'll have 4 and 6 equaling to 10. What is this? We have 2 dots and 7 voids. 2 dots, 7 voids. We have 4 dots and 5 voids. A numeric value for electric moon, okay, is 5775, where 75,075 moons have passed. In the equation, will create 47, the word of time. Born into the IT system of the second gate for matter and energy, Mars and Earth, the IT system. Number 29, 18 and 11, or 42 minus 13 equals to 29. There's a reason for this because of another equation. This equation is going to start out as 11 will end up equaling to this, and 16. 11 and 16 is what will create these equations, or 61 and 11, because the mathematics to work up to this number 13 will be this. In order to create this, it'll work itself up all the way to this, where this will be an addition, this will be a subtraction, but at the same time, this and this can be noted to be this, and that would be Zion, Israel. Zion, Israel, DC, creator of the house the 40 days and the 40 nights. See, now we're living in 2020. We live in half a house. And over here, it would be 2 and 9. 2 and 9 is yellow, perhaps the yellow brick road. Ask me a question. I'm going to explain to you why, but let me move on and show you that when we have 5 and 3, we're going to have 2 and 4. And it's 2 and 4, the cat, that divides the house. And the odds of 6 and 8 are placed down 6 jetons, 6 markings to get back 7. The next part about this is going to be what is mass. 33 is for the word mass. And 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is your 9, 6 rotation. But at the same time, the letter is I and F that come together. If I, 33 mass. Now what we're going to do when the 33 comes together, that is going to work out to the equation. Where's that ABC equation we did before? ABC and DCB equals 6 equals to 9. And then we're in, either it's in before the Christ or after the death, because we've left this out. When these come up over here, it's going to create the word RAM. RAM is numeric value 3 and 2. And these you can also use to say CB codes. The second and the third, 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 2 equals H and I. Another Q gate. Why? Because it's the 8th and the 9th letter. Just these situations, by understanding what the possibilities are, it tells me where I have to go to tell this story, right? And I'll do it all the time. I'll just keep doing it all the time. So I'm going to repeating it. So now when we got to this over here, and by the way, the degrees of the pyramid, right, is 5184. I forget which pyramid it is, 45 and 6. Well, it just so happens 6 and 45, right, is 6, 15 and 24, 666, and 45 is the word fox. And 9 times 6 or 5 times 9 equals to 45. So at the same time, this equation of Mars is going to turn into 3 by 8. So we saw the 3 by 8 here with Earth, okay, how Earth fit into this situation. And then here it's 3 by 1. That's going to either be the cube or it's going to be the bar mitzvah, the male, out of Pluto in this equation. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So your first one will be 24. Your second one will be 3. When you add it to a single digit, it'll create this numeric value. CF, whatever the initials for CF with Celsius and Fahrenheit, it will create the house of Beit, the secondary house. The combination of Pluto and Mars creates a 360 degrees in the divided house of Beit. Hold on, the cat's outside. I gotta go get the cat. You're okay? Yeah, you okay? You want to come sit in her box? I saved her a house. Look at that. $600 million for this house. I'll put it over here. Imagine if I can live in that house. She was in there all day. I go out, buy a bed. They want the money, a tax, or this. I get a box. Cat goes in the box. You do notice we have the K9. We have the first 9 in golf. And we have the 9 lives of the cat, which is the pound key, all representing Earth with the donut hole. 3 by 3, Earth. 2 by 2, Mars, representing ape. If you don't think we come from ape, that's fine. But they can change the genetics. They can change the G code. They can change anything. Because if you can imagine they can do it, why can't they do it? Because we don't know how doesn't mean it hasn't been done. And the numeric value for ape is 22. When you get ape, you get a bust. When you pull a card and you're screaming not to get ape, and you get ape, you get bust. When you're calling 8 for the dealer, what is the dealer delivering to you? Is the dealer for drugs? Who is that dealer? At the casino, CA510, right? The last, look at the letters and look at the numbers. Casino is C, right? And that C is created from 11. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1, and 2 equals to 3. When you have 1 and 2, or 2 and 1, you also have the letters L and U coming together. Everything that can be created from what you have is created. You can't get away from it. If I say in the middle of the air 1 and 2, somebody's going to say, is that the 12th letter? Or are they going to, if you said 2 and 1, is that the 21st letter? There's a big difference between 21 and 12. 12 is in the time heaven family. TH, you're going to say 12th. But when you get to 21, it's the first of its kind. It's when 2 went in front of 1 and became 1 first in the house of bait. At 21st, blackjack. It becomes the blue house, the blue ball, the separation between the blue ball with the 2 is going to be the 2 and the 10 ball. The 10 ball, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. You now have the blue and the you have the yellow and the blue coming together. All of a sudden, you've created green. You create green. You get the ring of Mars and the birth on the 4th and the 9th finger. Why? Green equals to 49. The other word, green equals to 49, and 8 equals to 49, and the 8th letter is the H. The invert to the 8th letter of the H is the S letter that looks like a 5. And the S letter is fabricated from number 16, which brings itself into number 13, which brings itself into what is 19. It's multiplication and addition. I call it star system math. This is what I was taught 20 years ago to do, and I've been doing it ever since to bring the numbers together. And the mathematics of this star system work is absolutely perfect. We have a visitor. How are you? How are you? I've been talking to this cat for a couple of years now. Please don't go on my book. No, go on my book. Are you on my book? For all those who think I'm talking to myself, this is Miss Mew. Does everybody want to talk to Miss Mew? Say hello, Miss Mew. Are you participating? I cleaned her nose yesterday. Look how nice her nose looks, eh? Hey, Miss Mew, say hello. You don't like me, do you? You like me? Hey? You hate when I do that, don't you? Do you hate when I do that? Ooh, doggy. Eh? You hate that? You hate that? Am I treating you bad? Am I treating you bad? Okay. Okay, let's get back to where we were. She's like right on top of everything. I can't write it all. Do you like me? Do you like me? Usually you run away. Just let me pat her for a second. Maybe she'll let me do a little bit of work. I'm not sure if she came here to interrupt me. The 9 lives of the cat, the letter I. I, Captain, eh? I, Captain. What happened on the Titanic? Titanic. It is the IT system in Titanic, the IT system and location. So where did the Titanic go down? What did it run into? Was it iceberg lettuce? Because the first mate is not supposed to tell the captain in the middle of the night, let's ramp up the speed and go a little bit quicker. Since when does the first mate say that? Now, what is a mate? Is it a checkmate? Is it M with 8 meaning 1008 or 18, the one spirit in the heavens? When you say Titanic, it's the IT system in the sun. So right away, I know I have to go to the Arctic. And somehow when the Titanic went up, it said location. And here's why it says location. When these two letters come together, it's going to do that. When these two letters come together, it's going to tell me about that. Now, I'm not too sure. Yes, this will also talk about the sky. Okay, one side of the sky, because it'll equal to 12, and it's your first, this is the lowest you can get in creation, is 12. The reason for that is C is your base creation of A, B, C, and your birth is 9. You cannot get any more. When you go to D and you mirror with 9, you end up with M. This would be 12. This would be 13. This would be the Bat Mitzvah. This would be the Bar Mitzvah in the year's ending. So these are your two minimums in the two worlds, your C and your D. I'm not sure if you can understand that. If you follow me, this will create what is E, and this will create what is G, and together it'll create 5G. But this is prior, when we are the children. So when we are the children, and we are no longer the children under the moon cycle. So that's what I believe, that they're changing the system right now, because we always must remain the children of the Creator. So I'm not sure how to explain this because of the 12 and 13. And once you're the first day after your 12th birthday for a female and your 13th birthday for a male, the female becomes 13. The male is in the 14th year. There's a separation. There's a separation between 13 and 14. It's 13.5. 13.5 and 13.5 is 27, the house of Bait. 135 says sun. 13th letter and the 5th letter in the game of pool. If you want to go there, will be a stripe, and 13 will be a stripe, and 5 will be a solid. 13 and 5 is 18, creates the letter R or Resh or R, the one spirit in the heaven. 6 times 3, 6 plus 3. And 1 through 18 equals to 171 or 17Q, and it's your QQ gate. Once you reach the first 18 of your 36 or 360. And there's more than one. There are a minimum of 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, and on the other side, you have 6, 7, 8, 9. You're not really supposed to count 1, 5, or 9. It's actually 2, 3, 4, and 6, 7, and 8. The 1, 5, and 9 are spaces, as like over here. 1, 5, and 9, empty spaces. They're on the outside, although you see them on the inside over here. It's just we put a form around it. So if you're getting mixed up and you can't understand, please stop me. Don't worry. I'm just, when I get on a roll and I start to explain and I just keep going. So what you have is you have 1, you have 5, and you have 9. Here you have 2, 3, 4, and over here you have 6, 7, and 8. When you put the 8, 7, and 6 together, you create 1, 1, 1. When we have our vibration of 2, 3, 4, and 6, 6, 6, it'll create the 90-degree angle. The 8 represents the queen, the 7 represents the king, the 6 represents the jack. Why? Because of the eyes. At the same time, the 8 is a representation of 5 and 3, the 7 is a representation of 5 and 2, and the 6 is a representation of 4 and 2. Where do I get this information from? Right over here. Except for the diamond. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, opposite of 2. We have the 7, 5 opposite of 2. You note that from the 4 card, right, which also noted to be 4th, all the way up to 10th, right, is all TH. All TH. And note that on the cube, that when you have the 10, 6 and 4, 10, with 3 and 5, this will be 10, and this will be the 8 void. This will be the 10 dot. And this also is going to represent the one spirit of heaven, or 18, or part of what represents the sun. An electric company, Zion Israel, 6 and 4, direct current or deferred current. Because number 1 in Israel and Zion all are number 64, as well as 0. So when we have 6 and 4, 6 and 4, we have 3 and 5 void. And then we have 1 and 8 void to what is 3 and 6 void. So this will be 14, and this will be number 4. So if I pick this up, I end up with the bar mitzvah. Up we go. Up we go. Javao, take it over. We got there 1 and 3. If I did it with 5 and 5, equals to 25 and 10, equaling to 35, equaling to 7 and 1. That's your Q gate. And you're going to get 22 out of it and 77. So 22 represents ape, also go. 77 represents power, represent Christ, and matter. All at the same time, because what you see and what you don't see. I'm going to be taking a look at the screen, see if anything's written down, going for something to drink. I'm going to be back in 1 minute. Let me take a look. I just have something in the way right now. Oh, she was here in the last video. I was just silent with her. She's a big girl. You're a big girl. You're a good girl. She's a good girl. Look. You like me? Are you a good girl? You want to go back? Okay, I'm going to get something to drink real quick. Actually, I got something here. I don't completely understand everything that's going on. Sometimes I get a vision. Sometimes I can see sort of that this is lifting up over here. The sword, I see the moon over here. The queen, see the way the slant of her hat. Okay, when I see the slant of her hat and she has 2 eyes, the passage, right, to come into this area is going to be this. See the way it shows the dividing hair over here? I don't remember always what they are. Then you see the Hebrew letter that is here, 1 here and 1 over here. Yes, all the cards are different. All the cards are different. And then possibly what I can do. H, I. You're right on top of everything, and it's hard to concentrate. So like I said, the 4 card is the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, and the 10. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. So when we do this equation, right, the 4 card is in all these cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 times 4 equals to Jesus, equals to energy, equals to time. It will equal to angels. It will equal to 10. It'll equal to the sky, but in French. It's going to equal to what is the cycle of man. It's going to equal to connecting to Mars and Uranus. When you multiply it and add it, it's 28 and 11 equaling to 39 for the angels and 10. It becomes 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 is 1 in between the other. 1 fits, as I said before. I lost my dice because the cat is lying on them. Oh, here it is. 1 in between 2. 1 is not like 2. 1 is the 50, the 5. And 1 dot is 50. Let's call it 5. The 2 dots, okay, is 25. 5 and 2 is 7. 57, 75 is the moon. Where do I get this? If I went over to the dartboard, it's going to tell me this story. But when we have 1 and 2, there is, when 1 is up, the other is down. This is your base 3 creation. I'm just trying to think. There was one other piece that goes along with this. You're going to use 2 or 20 when you use the heavens of 80. When you use the 1, you're going to use it when you get to 90. Because in French, they say 4 times 20. And when they use 90, they say 4 times 20 plus 10, right? And 4 times 20, 42 is the split of the gateway. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 is 6 and 8. It's the division of DC, right? Because half of it is 3 and 4. That's your DC. When you get your DC 3 and 4, and I just want to go back to something, we were talking about the 5 and the 13 ball before. Well, if you're going to have 5 and 13, you have orange. We also talked about the 2 and the 10, the blue ball, right? But when you have the 10, you have 1 plus 0 equals to 1. You now add it in the red ball. So automatically you get the purple ball from that. And now you have the 4 and the 12 ball, where 1 and 2 is 3. Now you have 4 and 3. So you're back to the red ball. That matches with the 11 ball, which brings yourself back to the blue ball because 1 and 1 is 2. But when I mix for orange, I ended up with red and yellow. So you see the way it all snowballs, the way it all seems to come together, and so on and so forth. Anyways, I want to keep it really short. I think I'm going to end the video. I'm a little tired. It's 1:15 in the morning where I am. The greatest thing anybody can do for me, for us, I believe, I'm hoping that the entire world is, if you can find someone that can create a program. And I know there's already programs out there that if I show it, if I say I got 16 baseball teams and I need to make up a schedule, we can do that. So I have a ton of equations and the alphabet and a few different kinds of ways to numerically put letters. There's Chaldean. There's 1 through 7 gematria. There's gematria 6, where you multiply everything by 6. Or you advance it. You advance the alphabet. You move 1, the A letter, over to the F letter, and then you start at 6. You start at 6, you end at 31. And A through E is void, right? A through E is void. And then you void the second part of the board at 31, at 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So when you void it at 32, it becomes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is out. And you begin at 6 and you end up 31, which is 4. So that becomes Zion, Israel, which becomes the heart. And where the cube is one of these in the center of the roulette board, in the center of 360 degrees, according to the roulette. But I'm tired. We're going to end the video now. Share if you can. If you like the art, share the art. I did want to put up one little post in here. I thought it was pretty cool. Just give me a second to try and find where it is. Hold on a second. I sent it to a friend of mine, I think. Well, I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to share this, copy this. Let me copy this and saw some army tanks out there today. Let me look this up. Just one second. Mrtacpans vaccines. Okay, here it is. I don't know how to, let's see if I can put this down here. Let's see if it comes out. No, it didn't come out. So let me see if I can go here. Just give me a second. No, it's not showing up. So let me see. Hold on a second. Now, I don't know why I can't find it. Is it in here? Just give me a second. No, hold on a second. Okay, let me just save image as. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, now I'm going to take this away. Take this away. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. This, by the way, comes from the game of roulette. This is what you get when you put a cube inside a star. Okay, I'm just going to put this up over here. And I made this shirt in 2014. And if you can read it, it's in French and in English. Faites tes propres études. It means do your own studies. The wax can cause the this, or is it the treatment at the end of the point? So I did that over there. So, and we're in rotation. We have one holding into two sides and coming down on one side, right? We have to play 2 moons and 1 moon in order to bring the pinball zodiac alignment with your birth. Here's gematria 1 through 7. We have the G over here. We have the T over here. Where is 5? 5 is right over here and over here. 66 will connect number 5. Then we have connecting your 10 on one side, connecting your 7 on the other. The numeric value for Earth is 52. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 creates this equation. These over here, I was creating the Star of David and seeing how much space I have to take up when using 9 or 12 or 15 or whatever amount of numbers you'd like to use, even up to 24 for the 24 hours in the day, 36 for 360 degrees. But we all know that everything ends and everything is halfway at 18. This one over here, a friend of mine with a regular camera took a picture of me, and it looks like there was a monkey that ended up on my head. This is when I began. You can see the wall is gray. Here's another picture that I left the whole thing together. And you can take a close look and looks like a monkey. These are a couple of pictures I painted. So over here we have Mars, the gateway with Pluto. Here it's reboot when the eye opens up. On this over here, there's an area that shows this TV or 5G right over here by the pylon. I like to look at these pylons representing Pluto for construction. Then we have Tesla 369. The reason for the GH tilted to one side and the other one tilted to the other compared to A, right, is because in A, I use all 9 numbers, right? But in G and H, I'm only using 6 of 9. You never have to use all the 9 numbers. So that's the end of that piece over there. We're going to take that off, right? Come back to the one comment. And that's it. So that's going to be it. If you have any questions, if there's a date and time you'd like to meet, if you can share this with somebody, find other numerologists. There's other ones on YouTube. I send messages out to a bunch, but nobody wants anything or nobody ever sees it. Maybe I'm shadow banned. I don't know. But I went to some guy named Gigi something or other. Let me see if I can pop the channel up. Just give me a second. History. Yes, here it is. Let me see right here. I try to get in touch with this person. I try to get in touch with the gematria effect, and I'm just never getting any answers. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but I'm quite sure I know if we come together and create a program and start to share. Whoa, holy mac. My cat just jumped up for some reason, for no reason at all. I'm looking at my hair. My hair's all standing up. What happened there, kitty? What happened? What happened? Wow, she scared the daylights out of me. So yeah, so let me you know, it's crazy because I'm sharing, I'm saying let's get connected. Did I put that up there yet? Right? It's right over here. And then there's the gematria effect, and I try to get in touch with him. He's always talking about how things match, how time and history matches, but no one's doing the numbers, how we can bring it deeper together. So that's it for now. Yeah, so that's okay. You can just listen to what is. So I'm going to say good night. Thank you very much for being here. Have a peaceful sleep. Try and get into that REM sleep, matter, energy, resident angel, into the alternate heavens of Bait. And thank you for watching the short video. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. Another 6 years. I'm not sure the time and when, but another 6 years is what I see in the numbers. I don't know what happens after that. I just know the numbers change in rotation. We went from 5775 to 5784. Now we do 3 years, and then we do 1 year, and then we do 3 years, or we do in one cycle 6 years and 1 year. We do the 313 when we're talking about DC 4 and 3. When we're talking about the touchdown extra point, we do 6 years and 1 year. When we talk about 5 and 2, 7, we talk about 5 and 2, 7 for that time period. So there's different kinds of time periods. We go 5, 2, 2, 5. That'll create 9 with the 5, 2, 2. We can create 6, 1, 1, 6. So that'll create the 8 days. So the 6, 1 will create what is your 8, and the 5, 2 will create what is your 9 days in a row, where the 3, 4 will be the 3, 4, 4 will create 10, and the 4, 3, 3, the 3, 4, 4 will create 11, and the 4, 3, 3 will create your 10. What I'm trying to say is 3 and 4, 7, 5 and 2, 7, 6 and 1, 7. There's the weekend where we have the week of 5 days, and the 2 days to the weekend, how they connect the first day with the 7th day. That's your Q gate. Where we have the 7 days of the week, where we have the 4th finger, where we have 3 to the left and 3 to the right, and that's your center finger. So all these situations, and what I did next is I went 4, 3, 3, 4. Like this, I'm going to show you. So what I did, because I can't go there on my book, so I did 3 days and 4 days, or should it be 3 days and 1 day and 3 days? And then it'll be 3 days and 1 day and 3 days. Or will it be 3 days, 4 days and then 3 days, coming up to Wednesday and then starting on the Thursday, and then 3 days and 4 days. So we'll go 4, 3, 3, and that will be my 10. We're going to stop over here. Then we'll add this one. Then we'll add this one. We do everything separately. 3, 1, 3, 7. Then we get 10. Then we get 11. Then we get 14. In this one over here, first we get 4. Then we get 7. Then we get 10. Then we get 14. So 4, 7, 1, 5. In this one, we get 7, 1, 2, 5. If we're working with the 5-day week and the 2-day weekend, and then reconnecting with a 2-day weekend to the 5-day week, we'll get 5, 7, 9, and then 14, which is 5, 5, 7, 9, 5. This is going to connect to the moon and your birth in the animal world. If we use the 6 days, the 1 day, the 1 day, the 6 days, this will create your 7, and your 1 will be your 8. So you're going to be getting into your gate, and then you hit the 14, and you divide the house between this 6 and 8. I'm not sure if you can understand that. I certainly do. So it's how we use our numbers, how we understand our numbers. We have to use all the combinations of the reality that we were given. We were given. It's a given. We were given the alphabet. We were given numbers 1 through 20 or 21, 1 through 100. We were given the cat. We were given the dog. Whether you're French or English or whatever language you come from, you can do that numerology in your language. So we were given life, and we have the recipe to understand how the numbers went together in our creation. I think that's going to be the end result. Anyways, peace and love. Good night.